Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about a bad experience at an IEP meeting. I'm sure that many of us have had those. I met with a mom today, and her story just broke my heart. She had just come from an IEP meeting about her 10-year-old son. And in that IEP meeting, the teacher said, quote, "It's not that I don't like him, but..." Alarm bells should go off all over, right? Once the teacher utters the words, "It's not that I don't like him," it means that she's entertaining the idea that she doesn't like him. This does not bode well for a successful year for anyone. So I want to talk about what the child needs and what the parent needs in this case. For those of you who are new here, I'm Andrea Pollack. I'm a parenting coach for parents of autistic and neurodiverse children. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about first what the child needs. So mom reported that he's having a lot of meltdowns at school. He's having outbursts. He's having a difficult time managing his emotions when things don't go his way, when things are too difficult, when he doesn't understand what's going on. And the teacher is presenting this as if it's the child's problem and perhaps even the mother's problem, that she's not in some way disciplining him enough for him to be able to manage those feelings. But the truth is, what the child needs is more support. He doesn't need discipline. So what does that support look like? Well, first, he needs help building his self-regulation skills. Now, most children grow these naturally over time and they develop in age-appropriate ways, but some children need a little extra help. And it's a series of skills that can be taught. So that needs to happen. Second, he needs help building problem-solving skills. In all likelihood, he's encountering problems during his day. He doesn't know how to solve them or ask for help, and so he's having a meltdown when he can't see the solution to his problem. But, like self-regulation, problem-solving is a set of skills that can be taught to children who sometimes need a little bit of extra help doing that. And he probably needs some help with some communication skills so that he doesn't have to melt down to communicate his needs. If the school approaches these issues with discipline, think about it. It's likely to activate more challenging behavior. The child is already having difficulty with self-regulation, and on top of it to add punishment, he's going to melt down more and more. In addition, if they approach it with discipline, it suggests that they think that he's doing this on purpose, so they're disciplining him to get him to want to make better choices. In all likelihood, he wants to make better choices but lacks the skill to do so. And that's why it's so important to prioritize support over discipline. Now, does that mean discipline is never appropriate? Of course not. There are cases in which it is, but that's not what's happening here. And how do we know that? Because it's not working at all. That's how we know. So what is discipline doing? It's making this child feel bad about himself. He goes to school, he wants to do a good job, but he has a meltdown, he gets punished, his self-esteem takes a hit every day. What this child needs is not a teacher who considers whether she likes him or not, but a teacher who is so invested in helping him grow these skills that he can come in and be successful in school. Now let's focus on what mom needs. When she came to me, she said, he's made a bad impression already. It's only the second week of school. So I know that part of her is worried that she's not doing something right because that's what the school is telling her. They're implying that somehow she is failing to discipline him and that's why he's behaving the way he is and that it's a discipline problem. But what she needs to do is check in with her own perspective to make sure that she does in fact believe that he needs more support and not more discipline. She knows this because she's been disciplining him at home and it's not making any difference, right? She can see that he needs support. No one is asking, what does he need? Why is he not meeting these behavioral expectations? Why is he melting down? They're just assuming they know why. I'm talking about the school this is. They assume they know why, that he's a bad kid, that he's doing something bad. But she knows that he needs some additional support. She doesn't know what that is at the moment, but she knows that it's not discipline. But it's hard to keep those lenses on, right? To be able to see your child in that light where you know it's not discipline because everyone from the outside is telling you it is, which then means it's your fault. The next thing she needs is some help figuring out what kinds of support he needs. Now, a lot of this she can do on her own. She can pay very close attention to the moments when the meltdowns are happening and really close attention all throughout the day so that she sees what happens just before, what the triggers are. She can speak with him about what's going on, why he's, if he has any idea why he's melting down. Now, he may not. A lot of kids don't have the ability to share with us what they do know and understand. And other kids just can't access the language for what they're feeling. And that's okay, because we can help figure it out. Maybe he can't spend a whole day at school right now. Maybe the whole day is so stressful for him that by the time he gets to the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the trigger is. He just doesn't have any endurance left. Right? Maybe he's having a particularly hard time with math. Right? Maybe the meltdowns are happening in math class. And so we need to pay close attention to when they're happening, try to figure out why they're happening, and what kind of support we can offer to help him succeed. That's what's next. After that, she does need to set him up for success, right? Because this child is being told all day long that he's doing it wrong, that he's bad, that he's being disciplined, right? So imagine the hit to his self-esteem. Instead, he needs to have expectations set that he can meet, and then he needs to be celebrated for meeting those expectations. And then we can raise them little by little in small increments that he can tolerate. So he can also learn that not only can he meet expectations, but he can do hard things that are right outside of his ability to meet those expectations. So that's what mom needs to focus on. So let's do a quick recap to hopefully give you a few helpful takeaways. First, during the meeting, listen for words or language that blame the child. Right? If the school is sort of suggesting that it's a discipline problem, that he's at fault, turn that around and ask them, well, what else can we do to support? Right? If all we're doing is disciplining, we know that doesn't work because we're still having the problem. So what else can we do? How can we figure out what he needs to be successful? After the meeting, if it's been a tough one, first, it's okay to feel sad. I cried after many an IEP meeting. So take a little while, however long you need, take an hour, a day, whatever you need, and feel the feelings. It's okay, right? And then let's get to work. By get to work, first thing we want to do is we want to get to the bottom of why this behavior is happening. Let's get to the root cause. I'll give you an example. This child, as an example, melts down when he's criticized, okay? Now, clearly, in life, he needs to learn how to deal with it, but he's not going to learn how to deal with it by just being criticized and melting down and being criticized and melting down, right? He needs some help learning how to do that. So we need to talk to him in a different way so that he doesn't feel criticized, and then little by little help build his tolerance to being criticized. So if we get to that root cause, then we can avoid the meltdowns that are related to his being criticized. So we're going to get to the root cause of all of the difficult behavior, so that we can end it at the root. The behavior is just the manifestation of it at the surface level, right? So we don't want to deal with the behavior itself, but the root cause of the behavior. And then we want to set our child up for success. We want to create an environment in which we can set expectations that he can meet so that he can feel successful, which builds his self-esteem. It builds trust between you. It builds an environment in which he feels good about himself, which totally increases the odds that that behavior will carry over into other environments like school. So hope this was helpful today. If you liked it, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you want to hear more content like this. It helps out the channel, helps it reach other parents. So thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.